Yeah, I'd say the GOP is really not in the mainstream. So like on redistricting reform, I sponsored bills to change that because that's something that I believed in when Democrats were in the majority. And then when Republicans came in, I sponsored bills that would reform that process, and that hasn't been done yet. But both political parties do that, and I think, and I've said before that whether you like the results or not, I believe that the policies of the General Assembly in redistricting have been legal. Whether you agree with the outcome or not, I believe it was legal. However, I think there could be a better way to do it, and that's something that both parties have been involved in before. So if someone doesn't like how it's done, there's certainly blame to go around. I mean, you could look at the maps that Democrats enacted for Congress. Were much stranger looking than what the maps are now. So that'd be my response to that one. On House Bill 2, I've told people before, what Charlotte did was wrong. They didn't have the authority to regulate restrooms and locker room policy. However, the General Assembly response to it, I think, went too far because it got into a biological scientific debate about gender identity and all that. Instead, what we should have done is just clarified, actually, local governments can't do any of that. And that's what we ended up doing when House Bill 2 was repealed and replaced. And that's an example of leadership because we did something. There was a lot of backlash. You can't deny that. There's a lot of backlash on it, including from the business community. So what we responded. We repealed that first version, replaced it with something that simply just said local governments can't do what Charlotte did, and it's over. You don't really hear anything else about it. So I think that's an example of leadership. And then on the abortion bill, I think this, if you look at what other states are doing, this is a measured approach to it. And, abortion is one of those topics that elicits a lot of emotion. I've approached it from the standpoint that I understand the emotions on both sides of it. You have two countervailing interests. You have the mother, you have an unborn child. And like I was saying before about, my approach to politics is I don't go in there and attack the other side and say, well, you're a baby killer. Whereas on the same token, I want with the other side to come in and say, well, you don't care about women, because I think that's hyperbolic, right? But I think the law that we pass is relatively, measured compared to, if you look at where most people stand on the issue. I think most people are kind of near the middle. You have some of those might be more on the hard left or on the hard right, but I think the law we passed is, I think, in concert with where a lot of North Carolinians are in the issue.